Why, hello, other fans of the Easterlings from Lord of the Rings besides me. I am Kyle Perkino, as my YouTube user handle so diligently suggests. And on this day, this gorgeous sunny day, as was the weather of the day I recorded this podcast third episode thingy on, I'm going to talk about a bunch of topics, but the checklist for this one has stayed inside my head, and therefore this one will kind of sound less organized than episodes 1 and 2 were, okay? Glad you're cool with that. Now, I am going to... Sammy's in my lap, one of my dogs. Might be a little bit distracting for me sometimes, but you'll still have your focus. You'll still have your focus, at least. There's always you to give credit for focus, at least. Yeah. Okay. What I want to start with talking about. Gotta keep it on topic for the first 25 minutes or more. And then I can spend the last, 10 minutes or less talking about something irrelevant to the Easterlings from Lord of the Rings. Because that's the formula I've been establishing for 2 episodes going on 3. Yeah. Excuse me. I'm having my 29-year-age self is having a Lawson's Little Sip, a type of IPA, to quench my thirst as I record this third episode of a podcast in the East for y'all. Delish. But not as delish as the logically most likely thing about what sort of metal the Easterlings in the books use for armor and weapons alike, which is going to be topic number 1 out of, about 6 to 8 topics in this episode. Yeah. Yeah. I think, and my Sammy dog and Kiki dog both also think, that most logically the Easterlings in the Lord of the Rings book used a much stronger type of bronze called aluminium bronze, or as Yankee Land locals like me know it, aluminum bronze, for all of their arrow tips, all their bladed weapon, blades, and all of their armor as well. Why is this the most logical? Why is this the most reasonable thing to assume? Why is the most Tolkien lore friendly thing to ever assume about the metallurgy of the Easterlings? Why was it why were their blades, even if their axes and swords were respectively halberds and scimitars as portrayed in the Lord of the Rings movies 2 and 3, let's not forget they were there for the smashing of the gates of Minas Tirith, lads. Even if that's what kind of sword and kind of axe they used, how is it far more likely that the blades for those were forged out of aluminum bronze instead of the stainless steel we saw them depicted as having being forged of in Lord of the Rings movies 2 and 3? Good question. Well, it has to do with the geography of their homeland, the very much mystical land of Rundor, or, as is an actual name for it in actual Lord of the Rings lore, just plain Rune. So, allow me to, as I'm recording this podcast third episode, go to Tolkien. Why does it not remember TolkienGateway.net? Sorry, my browser is forgetting websites that are truly near and dear to me. It's a Microsoft Edge, for those that don't know what the heck browser I'm using while I record this. But let's just look up Rune. Let's just see here. Also known as the Ease. Shut up, Microsoft Store. I'm podcasting. Rune, also known as The East refers to the little-known lands of eastern Middle-earth. Almost nothing of the lands, east or northeast or southeast, of the Sea of Rune is known. And yes, I am paraphrasing a lot if you want to open the Tolkien Gateway page with the link below and read with me. You'll know how much I paraphrase, because, oh boy, am I going to paraphrase a lot. Oh my. Let's see here. History. Now let's just skip to the human stuff. The first humans awoke in the far east, where they met the first dwarves to ever exist. The ancestors of the Eddine, who later evolved into the Númenóreans, who later evolved into the Gondorians, traveled westward out of Rune, at the shores of the Sea of Rune. Some of the human tribes traveling west separated and their languages therefore diverged, or diversified if you want to use more modern words. Other humans stayed in Rune, and many of them came under the domination of Melkor, and starting in the Second Age, Sauron. These humans were called Easterlings, and they led many attacks against Gondor, and later its allies Rohan and much more harshly Dale in the Third Age. Let's see. Oh, here we go. During the Watchful Peace, Sauron, and I'm skipping the stuff that's less relevant to the Easter eggs. So, keep this podcast on its decided topic. Yeah. Let's start that sentence over again, huh? During the Watchful Peace, Sauron went hiding to Rune, blah, 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 blah. This doesn't explain why aluminum bronze is the most likely metal, does it? All right. Okay, so eventually reading this page, you'll come across this this reference to a range of mountains called the Orocarni, the Red Mountains. Red Mountains. Far northeast. Okay. Far northeast, huh? And they're called Red Mountains. All right, so Red Mountains. If you Google search what makes red mountains red in a purely like Red Mountains in real life context, one of the sources you'll get is a direct quote from the U.S. Geological Survey. Why are some rocks reddish in color? The rust-colored grains within rock likely contain minerals like iron and oxygen, called iron oxides. Ooh. Let's look at this source, M. And yes, I will link to Mr. Geological Survey over here in the comment box. Or, not their description box. What am I talking about? And this is the sources opening. Have you ever noticed that rocks can be different colors? Like gray, black, green, yellow, brown, and red. These colors can give us clues about what the rocks composed of. What environment is formed in. Why are some rocks reddish in color? We already read that. Let's see. I wonder if copper is mentioned here. Okay, no mention of copper. So they likely get a crap ton of iron. The Easterlings from their Orocarni Red Mountains likely mine out bucks tons of iron. But what about copper? Because copper and aluminum are the ingredients for aluminum bronze. It says so on Wikipedia. Here, look, I'll pull it up. Redirected from aluminum bronze. Told you so. Aluminum bronze is a type of bronze which is aluminum as the main alloying metal added to copper. In contrast to normal bronze, copper and tin, or brass, copper and zinc. Okay. And then, if you, I don't know, pick a different search engine like, I don't know, Yahoo, for example. Search Yahoo on is copper in red? Is copper abundant in Red Mountains? I'm looking for a simple yes or no, but it's giving me all these wildly complicated answers that take up entire web pages. So you know what? I'm gonna pull up the scientifically insightful page that inspired this topic to be the first topic of this podcast. Let's see. Know about sandstone. That's next. Why I think Easterling architecture building material consisted all of sandstone. Um, but in the meantime, let's see. Copper here? No? Okay. Well, what color is copper naturally? It's like a reddish brown, isn't it? Having said that, it's not beyond possibility that these autocarni that are functionally the northern borders of the Easterling, northern borders of the Easterling realm, it is not beyond possibility that the majority metals in these mountains are, in order for most of these common, copper, aluminum, and iron. So, what if the reason that Easterling weapons are aluminum, bronze, no different than their armor, is because those Orocarni mountains of theirs are overflowing with copper and aluminum more so than iron? Very intelligent question to ask, huh? And it's all very realistic. And it all fits in with the Weta Workshop approach to designing and building Middle Earth of, in the words and my voice impression of Richard Taylor, it is imperative that Middle Earth feel real. That's my best Richard Taylor voice. I don't know. I don't know. Don't pay too much attention to how accurate my voice act was. Just focus on those having been his words in the Fellowship of the Ring installment of the Weta Workshop documentary trilogy thing that they have in the extended cuts of the original Lord of the Rings films. Anyway, so, and another thing to keep in mind is that aluminum bronze, as much stronger as it is in any other yellowy metal, it's still weaker than stainless steel. And we all know how extensively Gondorians use stainless steel for weapons and armor alike. And you can get that impression from either trilogy's version of the Gondorians, the book trilogy or the film trilogy, and the Lord of the Rings trilogy, I mean, in both cases. And it does say on the Tolkien Gateway page for the Easterlings, link to that in the Tolkien Gateway links list too, that the Easterlings were mostly more primitive than Gondor. And if the Easterlings extensively use metal is something weaker than the Gondorians go to metal of stainless steel, then it is only scientifically and correct as well as friendliest to Tolkien lore to assume that Easterlings use aluminum bronze about as extensively as the Gondorians, Rohirrim, and even Men of Dale use stainless steel. You know? Oh yeah. I'm noticing I closed out the window. Sometimes I pull dumbass moves, even though I'm really smart with an IQ that was 110 3 years ago or 4 years ago, but has probably gone up considerably due to changes in my I've made to my behavior and my big changes to my behavior and small changes to my view of the world around me. Don't worry, Samwise, Kitty Cat's dog. I am absolutely, because he meows at me to get me to do stuff. I am absolutely going to let you back on my lap. E move on to talking why I think Easterlings mostly use sandstone for building material in the next bit. Starting now. All right, let's resurrect that article bitty about sandstone. What is sandstone? This is thoughtcode.com. Excuse me. By some geology champion named Andrew Alden. And I do mean that. He's got credentials you can read all about on the ThoughtCo page, which I'll link in the description box. Sandstone, simply put, is sand cemented together in the rock. It's easy to tell just by looking closely at the specimen. But beyond that simple definition, or why did I say simple? Sample. Ugh. Words. Grammar, Kyle. It exists. Use it. But beyond that simple definition lies an interesting makeup of sediment, matrix, and cement that can reveal a great deal of valuable geologic information, including, and this is not in the ThoughtCo article, by the way, I'm just shoehorning this in for my, excuse me, hair on my keypad somehow, ew. But I'm adding this in for the sake of a podcast in the East, including the geologic info about why Easterlings use sandstone way more than anything else for their architectural drafting and design. It's a type of rock made from sediment. Okay, we get it. Sand, cobble, grains of gravel, cobble. Minerals of sandstone. Yeah, I'm looking for here we go. Depending on the mix and matrix of the cement, sandstone may have a wide range of color, nearly white to nearly black, with gray, brown, red, pink, and buff in between. If you don't know what color buff is, it's let me look up on Wikipedia again. Sorry, Wikipedia, I need you again. Just looking at the way it reacted. All right, buff, the color. Brownish yellow, light brownish yellow. Okay, that was easy. Thanks. What sandstone says? Okay. There we go. More about sandstone. As a landscaping and building stone, sandstone is full of character with warm colors. It can also be quite durable. The majority of sandstone quarried today is used as flagstones. Okay. Okay. That gives us a new term for you to learn, real life term for you to learn from a podcast in the East. Hey, I need Google to teach me what warm colors. Let's see, warm colors. Oh, here's a picture. It says warm colors. Reddish purple, red, reddish orange, orange, yellowish orange, and yellow. Okay. Sounds like there's only 6 of them. What are the warm colors? Oh, red, yellow, orange, gold, beige, brown, and tan. That's 7. Whatever. So that's a total of 7 different colors that is likely that the Easterlings use for all their architecture. That is exactly why you'll notice in my gameplay videos of my Age of the Ring submod, A Shadow in the East, that I have the foundation, that I have the floor, walls, and roof colors as respectively brown, beige, and orange, and red. And it's also why I changed all the door colors to gold. Because I want to be extra lore accurate with what is most reasonable to assume as to what kind of stone the Easterlings use for their architecture and the nature of that stone. Because all it says in the Silmarillion book that inspired me to make this topic number 2 of episode 3 of a podcast in the East is that the Easterlings built in the Second Age, built giant walls and towns of stone. And remember that stuff I said about Orocarni Mountains and them being red mountains being the reason why the Easterlings forge all their weapons and armor out of aluminum bronze and not just their armor? Yeah, the Orocarni Mountains are what's to credit or blame if you're looking at it from a Men of the West perspective in Middle Earth for the Easterlings using probably exclusively sandstone, just in the 7 different colors I quoted Google on for all their architecture. or infrastructure, they're kind of the same word to me. Maybe they're not. I don't know. Someone let me know in the comment box whether architecture and infrastructure are synonyms. They sound to me like they are, but maybe they're not. Someone clarify in the comment box for me, please. And I'll pin your comment to the top if you do. I won't just thank you for doing so if you do. I'll additionally pin your comment to the top. Okay, time for a third topic. And oh my god, it's getting close to my usual dog feeding time. So I guess I'll do the off topic closer here. Yeah, sorry for the brevity of this episode, lads. But I'll do more Easterling culture discovery stuff in future episodes of this podcast, but I had to cut this short so that I can cook, using air quotes on that one, because I don't actually cook. I just give my dogs just plain food for my dogs. Anyway, time for the off-topic wrapper-upper. The stories of Golorima in Skyrim. Let's see. This one I'm doing purely from memory, unlike the one I posted in the off-topic feed of the Age of the Ring Discord server. This one sees Golorima, or Nord the Bounty Hunter, as is my nickname for this all-dwarven armored master archer, whose bow and arrows are also all-dwarven, as are his secondary weapon system of single-ended axe and shield. He has... Once upon a time, he went back to, what was it called? Riverwood, to try to sell some loot that he dug out of a dead dragon's corpse that he made dead, by the way, after a big old challenging fight with it. Next thing he knows, some cultists of some sort are attacking Golorima, only to have two of them. Only to have one shot down by Golorima himself, the other cut down by his Huskar at the time. I can't remember if it was Yordis the Sword Maiden or Iona of Riften. Either way, I just remember it wasn't Lydia, which I know a lot of people will say, oh, thank God for that. To those people, I say, okay, relax. Anyway, he, what else? Oh, yeah. What else is there? Yeah, Golorima took a letter off of these people and found out, oh, these people were hired by some other Dragonborn who's nervous about me being from where they're sitting, the other Dragonborn. Except this Dragonborn is coming at me from Solstheim, and he apparently thinks that I'm some kind of danger to him. And I'm like, okay, so I'm marching my fully dwarven armored Nord ass over there to Solstheim, the island, just so I can, since a master archer character, shoot down whoever this hirer of assassins, as I know him to be, is, as I'm playing as Golorima. And so yeah, I go through and I find out the whole island of Solstheim is being oppressed by other cultists who also work for the same guy. So that's how I, as Golorima, the Nord the Bounty Hunter, come to realize, oh wow, I'm doing a lot more than just an act of self-defense, which is completely the only reason I came to this volcanic island, huh? Having brought, whether it was Yordis or Iona, I don't remember which, with me. And yeah, I go, she follows, and I'm right about to, let's see, in this mission, this is when I was playing it for Xbox 360. I left off right when I was about to confront this Grand Architect of the assassination attempt on me and of the oppression of the locals of Solstheim. As I'm right about to confront him, save and quit, never got to pick that up where I left it off, unfortunately. Yeah. But knowing how much buildup I did for Golorima back then, I'm pretty sure I could have taken this rival Dragonborn villain person thing. That's all I got for a podcast in the East today. Thank you so much for listening. Remember to like and favorite and subscribe. Hit the all alerts bell. Comment below, especially if it's to clarify whether infrastructure and architecture are synonyms or not. Because, the sandstone discussion about Easterling architecture. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the day. And also, be sure to boil and mash and stick your potatoes in a stew if that's your dinner plan tonight. Bye.